Now, President William Ruto yet again continued with his attack on the judiciary and specifically the conduct of judicial officers in disregard to criticism and condemnation by a cross-section of institutions and individuals over what was termed as intimidation and interference in the affairs of the third arm of government. Now, the ruling United Democratic Alliance joining the president's onslaught on the judiciary by branding judicial officers and litigants whom they accuse of sabotaging the implementation of transformational projects as enemies, and vowing to name and shame them. As Chemutai Goin reports, the International Commission of Jurists came to the defense of the judiciary, imploring President William Ruto to withdraw his utterances, which they say were akin to interfering with the independence of the judiciary.
A day after many institutions and leaders slammed him for what was termed as a veiled threat to judicial officers issuing injunctions against government programs, the president sustained the onslaught, this time taking it to his X account, claiming that some judicial officers were far off the integrity mark. In his words, which referred to a conversation with senior counsel Ahmed Asir Abdullahi, the president noted that while there were some good officers, the corrupt ones needed to be weeded out. And referencing senior counsel Paul Muite, the president said the impunity of bribing judges so as to derail, delay or sabotage Kenya's imminent transformation will never happen again under my watch, and that no money would be used to bribe anyone. With hard tackles targeting the president, his United Democratic Alliance party through its Secretary General Cleophas Malala backed the president, saying anyone, whether a litigant or judicial officer, purporting to sabotage or derail the rolling out of government transformation projects must be seen to be an enemy of progress and called out. In the statement that largely targeted opposition leader Raila Odinga, Malala claimed that those opposed to government initiatives were seemingly sponsoring the litigants. While stressing the government commitment to weed out corruption, the ruling UDA warned the judiciary against being the weak link, saying judges and judicial staff should refrain from working with elements in the opposition to frustrate the delivery of government services, which were the pillar of the plan that saw President William Ruto elected to power. And as the president and his lieutenants breathed fire, the Kenyan chapter of the International Commission of Jurists mounted a strong defense for the third arm of government, imploring the president to withdraw his statements and instead affirm his commitment to the rule of law and constitutionalism. CJ avers that the head of state's comments cast aspersions on the integrity and independence of the judiciary and risked eroding the public confidence in the institution tasked with upholding the rule of law. They have called for thorough investigation to substantiate claims of corruption within the judiciary, for action to be taken within the confines and provisions of the law to safeguard its integrity. With the attacks on the judiciary remaining constant regime after regime, political leaders too did not shy away from joining the chorus. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka being the latest to criticize President William Ruto, chiding his administration for going back on its pledge to uphold the rule of law. Being an advocate, Kalonzo urged the judiciary to remain firm and protect citizens' rights, though acknowledging the need to probe the allegations of corruption in line with the provisions of the Judicial Service Act of 2011, which outlines punishment to be prescribed on judicial officers marred with integrity cases. He expressed his party's support for the procession by the Law Society of Kenya in support of the rule of law. Siaya Governor James Orengo, who is not a stranger to the corridors of power, termed the president's utterances as unfortunate.
Of all the statements the president has made, this is the most dangerous, is the most reckless, is undermining the Constitution and the sovereign power of the people, because judicial authority is delegated to the executive, to the courts. And the judiciary does not share the judicial authority with the President of the Republic of Kenya.
He urged the Kenya Kwanza government to follow due process and lodge their appeal with the Court of Appeal if aggrieved by the court's decisions on government programs, instead of threatening and intimidating judicial officers into coercion. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.